Fears of World War III are escalating right now as mystery drones continue to harass Europe. So let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, guys, things are getting heated out there, so I'm just going to take you through what I'm seeing. Of course, this is an ongoing situation. We're in the fog of war, possibly literally, hopefully not literally. But yeah, Pete Hegseth orders rare urgent meeting of hundreds of generals and admirals. Now, we don't know exactly why this is taking place, but it is happening at the same time as Denmark has activated its national crisis management system following last night's drone intrusions by an unknown actor over airports and military bases across the country, with the national operating staff, which is headed by the Danish National Police and consists of representatives from the Danish Emergency Management Agency, Danish Health Authority, Danish Defense Command, Danish Security and Intelligence Service, Danish Defense Intelligence Service, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Critical Supply Agency, and the Danish Civil Aviation and Railway Authority to remain assembled 24/7. Yeah, things are getting nuts out there, guys. What the hell? Well, we'll go through it. Here's a news report talking about one of the recent drone incursions.
Incursions which have forced the country to close its airports this week are a hybrid attack, and officials say they expect there will be more of them. They also say they believe the drones are being operated by a, quote, professional actor, but there was no evidence of a link to Russia. The Defence Minister called it the most serious attack on Danish critical infrastructure to date and has reached out to NATO and the EU to discuss the incidents. Danish police said it was not possible to down the drones that were spotted at 3 airports and a military base, and that no one had been arrested. The incidents come a day after Copenhagen Airport was shut down due to drones and follows a series of incursions of Russian drones and aircraft into EU airspace this month.
Now, I don't want to make light of this or sensationalize this. There is obviously a very real war with Russia going on right now in the Ukraine. And could it be spreading? Could mystery drones, could UFOs cause a greater conflict? Or is this all Russia? Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, let's continue to go through the information. Breaking from TV Denmark. Chief of National Police says a state of national emergency may be raised. Meanwhile, we have a new drone video from Aalborg, Denmark. Video of unauthorized drone activity near the airport, one of these airports that was shut down in Denmark. And you can see this drone or object, whatever the heck this thing is. Yeah. What are these things, guys? They seem very anomalous. All of this is in keeping with the pattern of mystery drones. There's nothing about this that is out of character for mystery drones. Breaking, reportedly 2 NATO F-16s have gone airborne in the north of Germany, bordering Denmark. Now, this is, again, we're still in the fog of war and all of this. I've heard this claim disputed, so I'm not sure if fighters were actually dispatched against the mystery drones or not. The story is that these drones got a little too close to the German border and the Germans launched fighters. Don't know if that actually happened or not. Breaking, Danish police chief Thorkild Fogde confirms the clear goal is to take down the drones, stating it's the top priority for authorities. Well, he says it's the top priority, but they haven't done it, and they're saying they're not going to do it. And the story is that, you know, they're afraid that they'll hurt civilians or something like that. Is that the truth? We don't know. Breaking news, drones are being spotted in southern Denmark near the German border. Again, it's hard to confirm any of this. A Finnish drone is currently keeping a very close eye on the Russian-flagged vessel Astral 1. The vessel is suspected to be involved in drone flights over Danish territory earlier this week. tonight more drones were reported over a Danish airport. But as we've just heard, there's nothing actually linking any of the mystery drone activity currently going on to Russia. Christopher Sharp says to note Aalborg Air Base and Aalborg Airport share a runway system. So this is affecting both military and civilian air bases, Air Force airports. Danish police say that they have verified that there is drone activity at three airports in Esbjerg, Sonderborg, and Skridstrup. Yeah, nailed that. Helicopters with the Royal Danish Air Force are reportedly airborne now over North Jutland. Aboard are specially trained soldiers to track and possibly down the unknown drones currently flying over Aalborg Airport in northern Denmark. Breaking, a Spanish military jet carrying Defense Minister Margarita Robles experienced GPS jamming near Russia's Kaliningrad while heading to Lithuania. Encrypted systems prevented disruption, but Madrid calls it a real threat. And we'll see, Russia is pulling some stuff. Some stuff is going on with Russia. Whether that has to do with the mystery drones or not, there is an active stuff going on. Footage claimed to show one of the unknown drones currently flying over Aalborg Airport in northern Denmark, with police and observers stating that the drones appear to be similar to the one seen earlier this week over Copenhagen. And here is the footage of this object blinking. As mystery drones do, they are in no way trying to be stealthy. They are not surveillance drones or spy drones. They're also not attack drones. They're not Russian war drones. When Russia launches a drone, it's probably either to spy on somebody or to blow somebody up. They're not doing that. They are shutting airports down or hovering over airports, forcing them to shut down. Nobody knows who is operating them or where they come from or where they go, which is exactly conforming to the pattern of mystery drones, which have been seen all over the U.S. They've been seen in India. They've been shutting airports down in India, as well as in multiple airports in China, and of course all over Europe, the UK, and so on. So unlikely to be Russia. Richard Gilreich says, we've been through this before. Mimicry is a powerful camouflage and has been known about for decades. Yeah, so are the drones, are UFOs, are anomalous ET objects mimicking drones. That's the idea. That's been the idea since the beginning with the mystery drones. All right, from polity.dk, Operation against unidentified drones over Aalborg Airport completed. The unidentified drones that were observed in North Jutland are no longer located over the airspace at Aalborg Airport. An intense investigation has begun, and the police ask anyone with information in the case to contact 114. Yeah, so the mystery drones over Aalborg just vanished, and we don't know where they went. We don't know where they came from or where they went. They just vanished. Richard Gilreich again says, this is why UAP secrecy and overclassification is so incredibly dangerous to everyone. It's causing Europe and NATO to overreact, thinking there's an attack. Anyone who sits down and thinks the situation over would understand Russia doesn't have this class of drone technology. Yeah, I think if they did, they probably would have, won the war, a long time ago. Patrick Jackson says we might be in for catastrophic disclosure. I think this is a different subject. I think he's talking about 3i Atlas. Sky News says, breaking, Germany's defense minister has warned his country's satellites are being shadowed by Russian satellites. And that is a weird situation. Here's more on that.
Just getting some breaking news from the German defense minister, this is Boris Pistorius, saying that 2 Russian surveillance satellites are currently pursuing 2 Intelsat satellites used by German forces and others. Intelsat satellites used by German forces and others the German defense minister says, are being pursued by Russian surveillance satellites. The use of the word pursued, I can't give you any more insight or intelligence as to what exactly Boris Pistorius is saying here. But the Reuters news agency then going on to say that he's made the comments that we must no longer ignore the fundamental threat that Russia poses in space. This is the German defense minister, and obviously we've seen this huge uptick in the number of satellites being deployed into space, both from militaries and also from people like SpaceX under Elon Musk, and it is getting a very crowded field up above us. But interesting, this line, like I say, 2 Russian Luck-Olymp surveillance satellites currently pursuing 2 Intelsat satellites used by German forces and others. This is going.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Russia is actively doing stuff. There is stuff going on with Russia. Whether, again, that has anything to do with the mystery drones is unclear. Here's another report on the situation.
I just want to bring you an update to that story of the drones that have been spotted over Aalborg Airport. The Danish Justice Minister, Peter Hummelgaard, has in the last few minutes commented on this and has said, without saying specifically who has done this, that there is no doubt that this is done by a professional actor. Remember, it's the second time that Denmark has faced drones around a major airport this week. Copenhagen Airport was also closed for a few hours after drones were spotted there. The defence minister has said there's no direct military threat against Denmark, but they also will be starting to look at acquiring capabilities to detect and neutralise drones as Denmark look to try and respond to this latest incursion into their airspace. The Justice Minister also saying the threat of hybrid attacks is here to stay. So still not quite getting to the point where Denmark are apportioning blame for this event. Of course, Russia were blamed for that incursion into Danish and Norwegian airspace earlier this week, where the Copenhagen airport, as well as the airport in Oslo, were closed down. But Denmark saying that there is no doubt this was done by professional action in just the last few minutes.
Yeah, so what are we looking at here, guys? What are we looking at here? Russian ambassador to France. War will begin if NATO shoots down a Russian plane. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, guys. Things are getting heated out there. It is a dicey situation, and all of this seems to have been provoked by the mystery drone situation. And again, you never know with these mystery drones what is behind it. Could Russia be behind some of these drone activities? Well, always possible. But again, what we've been seeing in Denmark and Copenhagen and other places exactly conforms to the mystery phenomenon that has been gripping the entire world for the last few years. And that is not likely to be a human actor doing that. Nothing can take these things down. We don't know where they're coming, where they're going from. There have been witness sightings saying orbs have transformed into the drones. And there's video of that as well. Obviously, that's debated. But the mystery drone phenomenon seems highly anomalous. Unlikely to be a human actor again. And, for no discernible cause. They just go and they hover over these military installations or these airports, forcing them to shut down or to relocate fighter jets, creating quite a hubbub. And nobody knows. Well, I say nobody knows. Somebody knows, because one of these mystery drones, actually went down over Langley. The military, the U.S. military, has been in possession of one of these objects, at least, for quite some time. The U.S. government knows what these things are. They're not saying anything. A few years ago, they captured a Chinese drone operator, and they were very proud of themselves, and that made a lot of news because, they're showing that they're doing their job. They're very happy to report that they have arrested somebody for spy drones, a foreign actor doing spy drones. That's not what they've said here. They've said boo. They've said nothing. What do they lie about? They lie about UFOs. So, here's what Ross Coulthart is saying.
Whatever the objects are, They are indeed provoking a response, but at the moment, quite laudably, the Denmark government has admitted that it truly has no idea where these objects are coming from. It's not helpful to speculate that it's Russia or has happened in the US, China or Iran, all of them ludicrous explanations, without proof. I mean, there was even one representative in America who tried to suggest that drones were being deployed from an Iranian mothership over the horizon from New Jersey. There was absolutely no evidence of this, but it was an escalatory response that essentially called for a calming down by the government. The simple fact is, as Pentagon generals have admitted, we have no idea what these objects are. And what frightens me and concerns me the most is the willful blindness by so many of the Western Alliance governments to the fact that we do have, whatever these objects are, whatever the...
Yeah, and this has happened before. UFOs have shut down nuclear installations in America. They triggered a launch sequence of nukes in the Soviet Union back in the day, stopping it at the last minutes. On another occasion, I'm probably getting the details wrong, I think this was related by Robert Dean, that NATO saw some objects on the radar that looked like missiles or fighter planes coming from the Soviet Union, and they thought they were being attacked, only for it to turn out to be UFOs. So UFOs have provoked tension between the East and the West before. This has happened before. Now, is this deliberate or not? I think is a good question. Conflict Radar says drone activity reported over Korsør Port in Denmark. Security forces are currently patrolling the area. Ross Coulthard again says these Scandinavian drones do sound similar to the Consus UAPs. Witness, quote, 4 objects glowing or flickering blue and white, 100% ball-shaped and about 5 by 5 meters or larger. No sound at all. The objects completely disappeared right into thin air. Yeah, and about the sounds they make, these mystery drones, is interesting. Sometimes they make no noise. Sometimes they sound like a helicopter or a drone. Sometimes they sound like a plane. But yeah, they disappeared right into thin air. The biggest mystery of all, Ross says, is why no agency has been able to track these objects to definitively prove the source. How can anyone say it was a foreign state actor without such evidence? And it's a hybrid attack. Here's a press conference, right? Defense Minister Troels Lund Poulsen said, because this is not translated, the press conference, the drone activity looks systematic. It bears the mark of a professional actor. This is a hybrid attack. He adds there is no evidence of Russian involvement at this stage. Chief of Defense says that drones were not shot down due to the risk of public safety. Constant assessments underway. Of course, we also heard the police say that shooting them down or taking them down was the highest priority. So that leads us to our present pass, where Hegseth has ordered this big meeting of all the generals, and Denmark has activated its national crisis management system. So yeah, what is going on, guys? Where will this all go? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how much of this you think could be Russian, or how much might be anomalous. Oh, and I did have one additional thing. This was sent to me by Tim Clark. Thank you, Tim. This was sent to Tim by a friend of his who works at Heathrow Airport in London, who says, yeah, these objects aren't just in Denmark and in that area. They're also in the UK, and they have been appearing almost nightly at Heathrow Airport. And here is a video of one of these. And I'm allowed to share this under the condition that I don't play the audio to identify the individual taking the video. And you can clearly see this object in the skies over Heathrow Airport, repeatedly blinking. Again, these are not stealthy vehicles. These are not designed for surveillance. These are designed to get attention. And this has been going on globally for years now. When are we going to say that this is anomalous? Or when is the U.S. government, who again is in possession of one of these things, going to come out and tell us what they are? Is that ever going to happen? I mean, they fed us the BS line that it's FAA approved craft for research and other purposes, which is clearly not true. They're shutting down airports in India and China, probably not FAA approved. So what are they? When are they going to level with us? Are they going to level with us? Is the phenomenon going to be forced to level with us themselves? Is that what this is all about? This is a push for the phenomenon to disclose. And would Europe rather go to war than admit there are UFOs? Because Europe is tight about this stuff. Yeah, you can see it on the move now. Europe does not like to talk about UFOs. They are super buttoned up about this. So they might well prefer to call it Russia rather than ET, which is so disturbing. But yeah, look at that awesome. This is an awesome video. So thank you, Tim, for sending me this awesome video showing that, yeah, again, it's not just in the Denmark area, that it is in the UK as well. And of course, the phenomenon has been going on all over. So yeah, again, let me know what you think, guys. What the hell is happening? Where is this going? Obviously, I will probably be making an update on this later today or tomorrow. We'll just see where it's going, guys. Fingers crossed that nothing dire happens. But yeah, let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and all that kind of good stuff. And I will see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road signing out.